welcome back to Adapted Adventures. On this week's video, we bring you along on a 3-day trip that Andre and I recently took to the Gulf Coast of Florida. On our first day, we flew down into Tampa, Florida and got there around lunchtime. We were excited to see the sun and a little bit warmer weather than what we had been experiencing back in Minnesota. We were able to rent a car and got one with hand controls and headed out to the St. Pete's Beach area. We ended up picking a place for lunch called the Hurricane Seafood Restaurant in Paso Grill, where we were able to look around and enjoy some of the great views from their rooftop bar, and then we had a great lunch in a sunny spot on the first floor. After lunch, we headed back north up the beach towards our hotel to check in, and on the way we got to drive past the beautiful Don Cesar Hotel and see some of the more historic places of Paso Grill. We checked into our hotel called the Postcard Inn, which I did do a full review in a separate video, and if you're interested in checking that, we'll link it down in the description below. After checking in, we decided to go explore the property and then rest a little bit at our hotel room. That evening, we went down to the beachside bar and had a drink and enjoyed the sunset. After enjoying a beautiful sunset on the beach, we decided to get ready for dinner and then went over to the Rumfish Grill, which was only a couple blocks from our hotel. While the food at Rumfish wasn't the best we had on our trip, I would say that this restaurant probably provided the coolest ambiance. The dining room is set in front of a 33,000-gallon aquarium, which is filled with all sorts of tropical fish. We were also super impressed with these cool light-up menus at the Rumfish Grill as well. Day 2, we woke up to another great day of beautiful sunny weather. Had breakfast in our room because we had a little mini fridge in there and were able to keep some food in there, and then drove over to John's Pass Village and Boardwalk. This little shopping area is right on the waterfront in John's Pass, and it's filled with all sorts of restaurants and stores to go and look around. We had a really good time, and have actually found out that if you have a handicap sticker for parking, you can park in any of the spots down there for free, even though most of them were paid metered parking. We spent most of our day here just kind of perusing and checking out all the different stores. They have everything from, touristy souvenir shops to beachwear and beach equipment, and had a really great time looking around. The whole area was very easy for me to navigate. All the stores seemed to be well spaced out, so I didn't feel cramped in any of them. The sidewalks were smooth and flat, and there were plenty of curb cuts wherever we needed them. After exploring some of the shops for part of the morning, we decided it was time for lunch and headed over to the boardwalk to check out some of the menus on the restaurants that overlook the water. We ended up deciding on a little place called the Paradise Cafe, where I had some amazing gumbo. Andrea tried the fish and shrimp tacos. Lunch was really good. We had a great view. The weather was even warmer than our first day, and we even got to spot some dolphins swimming in the paths nearby. After lunch, we decided to walk around on the boardwalk a little bit more and ask some of the tour operators about wheelchair-accessible sunset tours that I would be able to get on. Later that afternoon, we made it back to our hotel to enjoy another sunset at the beach. I mentioned in the Postcard In Review video that they did have a wheelchair available upon request for the beach, but on this trip I also did bring my own beach tires and the freewheel. It was great being able to have my own independence to get down to the beach and use the wheels on the sand. The sand here at the Postcard Inn beach was way different than the sand that I experienced when I would go to visit Andrea in El Salvador. That sand was a lot easier, or harder, to push on, and this was admittedly easier and a lot more enjoyable. Unfortunately, after this amazing evening on the beach, my beach wheels started giving me a lot of trouble, and they actually got stuck on my chair that night. It took us almost 2 hours to figure out what was going on, and then to finally get the wheels off. We didn't end up filming this part of our trip because admittedly it was very stressful and frustrating. However, in the end, we did get the wheels off my chair and got my everyday wheels back on, and we made the best of our evening and went and had an amazing dinner at a place which was walking distance from our hotel. Day 3, we decided to sleep in a little bit, had breakfast in our room, and then we headed out for our guided jet ski tour which we had scheduled for the day. We booked our guided jet ski tour through Suncoast Water Sports, which we found off of the Postcard Inn's website. And originally we were supposed to depart from the Postcard Inn's beach, however that morning the waves were too big and we ended up leaving from their marina instead. Even with this last minute change of plans to leave from the marina instead of the beach at the hotel, which was only about a 5-minute drive from our hotel, everyone at Suncoast Water Sports was very accommodating and helpful, and I was easily able to transfer from my wheelchair to the jet ski in the marina. We had such an amazing time on our tour. We started off leaving from the marina and going down the Intercoastal Waterway, which started off going past some awesome real estate along that area. Then we headed south and into some bigger open bays in the Intercoastal and went past some big bridges. We got to see dolphins in the bay, and then headed south along the southern tip of all the barrier islands, past this place called Fort DeSoto State Park, and then made the round to come back up through the open water on the coast side, past our beach and past some of the big hotels along the waterway there. After jet skiing, we headed back to the hotel to change, and we grabbed some lunch, and then we decided to head back down to Pass a Grill to explore that historic district in that area. After exploring the historic district of Pass a Grill and some of the beaches down there, we headed over to the Don Cesar, which is a beautiful hotel on St. Pete's Beach. Even if you're not staying at the Don Cesar, if you ever find yourself in the area, I would highly recommend just going and checking it out. It's a beautiful hotel that was built, I think, in like the 1950s or 60s. And even if you just stop by to grab a drink at their cool, like 1960s bar in the lobby, it's a great experience. It's a beautiful hotel, and maybe one day when we decide to splurge, we'll stay there someday. After enjoying our little self-guided tour of the Don Cesar and enjoying some sun, we decided to go back to John's Pass Grill for a sunset cruise. We booked our sunset cruise through Sunshine Scenic Tours at St. John's Pass. The day before, we had asked around about accessible tours, and they were the only one that told us they had an accessible boat. The boarding process was such a breeze, and once I was on the boat itself, I was able to just sit in my chair, and everything went so smoothly with this tour. If you're a wheelchair user and are looking for a sunset cruise to enjoy in the St. Pete's area, I would highly recommend this company. This tour was a lot of fun and definitely worth it. The crew is super friendly and do a great job of explaining what you're seeing on your tour as we go past certain neighborhoods and different parts of the Intercoastal Waterway before we go out into the bay for actually watching the sunset itself. Additionally, on this tour they do have drinks for purchase if you'd like to enjoy one of those while taking in the tour. This was our last evening of the trip, so after our sunset cruise, we went and enjoyed one last dinner at a local restaurant. We really hope you liked this video, and if you found it fun and informative, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button, and we'll see you on the next Adapted Adventures.